Action Research 1, Video 2. Short little dudes so that you can see them on YouTube. Here we go. Action Research. The term was coined by Kurt Lewin, Lewin. You may hear it on those professional YouTube videos, pronounced a different way by those UK folks, but as long as you know how to spell it, then you'll know who we're talking about. He is credited with that, coming up with the term in the 1940s, quite some time ago. Although some will say for education that it could be traced back even to the progressive views of John Dewey, so long ways back there. The whole idea of teachers knowing best what they needed to do in their teaching. When we compare action research with traditional research methods or traditional research types, approaches, there is quantitative, which is statistics and all the things to do with numbers, qualitative, which is more involved with more personal contact with people, that's usually interviews, observations, that kind of thing, and then there's action research, which to some extent should not be a totally separate approach because it uses the same methodologies and takes a little maybe from quantitative and qualitative. It is more closely related to qualitative than quantitative, though, because quite often you are going to do interviews and surveys and observations in your own personal action research, as well as for this your project for this course for Action Research 1. Action research may have different purposes, different incentives, and different audiences compared to other forms of research. But again, the methodologies are the same, and the pieces of the research are the same. That's why in this Action Research 1, we're going to be looking at Chapter 1, the introduction. The chapter numbers will not match the course numbers as far as 1, 2, 3, 4. But for this first one, it's just getting a good idea, a good handle on what action research is, and then doing the beginning parts of your actual research project, which then in 2, you'll do the next part for that research problem that you have come up with. It may not always be called a problem. It may be called a focus rather than a problem. The key difference, though, is that you take action to solve a local problem or to improve a practice. It's not intended to create theories that can be used all over the place, or to say that it's generalizable, which would mean that we could generalize that what you've learned in this research could be used to inform decisions statewide, nationally, maybe worldwide, because this is focused on your particular context, your classroom, your campus, and your particular problem, challenge, idea. It's a practical tool for solving problems experienced by people in their professional lives, and in our case, in our educational situations. It is empirical insofar as it requires people to define and observe the phenomena under investigation. And again, like I said, if we tied it to one of the other two, it would probably be closer to qualitative, but even qualitative draws a little bit of quantitative to its processes. For the process of action research, Stringer in 2008 said it was in 3 steps: look, think, act. The look phase involves systematically gathering information and data. In the think phase, information is analyzed and reflected upon. And in the act phase, solutions are devised and implemented. And then guess what? It starts over again. Reflect. Experiences, perceptions are used to identify an area of focus based on a problem, and time is taken to review what is already known about the problem, or focus area, to learn more about the problem. This may include a review of the literature. For our case, it does. This is also referred to as identifying and limiting the topic. Then you plan. plan is developed for taking action or for gathering information and data in order to observe or capture the experience or monitor the practice. It is in this phase that the research questions and methods are explicated. Then you act. The researcher implements the plans or change of practice and collects data. Can be collected from a variety of sources. We'll talk about that in a minute. Observe, synthesize, analyzes the data. Key issues related to the problem are identified. This leads to reflection once more. And again, you go to reflect on the new understandings, plan, a new plan of action, act, a new action is taken, observe, the new data are analyzed, synthesized, and interpreted. And that's how we talk about the cycle that continues forward. In action research, as with all research, the first step is to determine what is to be investigated. Your focus should be on your own practice. Involve something within your locus of control, and that's especially important for this course. It needs to be something you feel passionate about, at least to some extent, and something that you want to provide answers for, something to provide answers to you about something you would really like to change or improve. There are categories of action research problems, and this gets into more detail on how we're going to look at that. So I'm going to end this video here, knowing that we'll pick up then with that particular piece and go forward in video 3.